If they ever needed an actress for a movie involving demonic possession, I think this one right here would fit the bill just on how she looks in her mugshot. So this woman's name is Arleth Bonilla, and she is 18 years old, and she was arrested in Madison, Wisconsin because she was accused of luring a 17-year-old to their death that led to them getting shot to death. I'm recording this video on October 22nd, 2023, and it was posted October 19th, 2023 from the Tennessee Vibe. An 18-year-old is arrested in Madison accused of luring a 17-year-old to a fatal shooting. The incident occurred at Falcon View Apartments with the suspect allegedly acting on behalf of the shooter. The investigation aided and a Crime Stoppers tip continues. Now that article that I just read for you was a very small piece because it was an introductory, and I'm guessing that was the breaking story. Now I'm going to read an article from Law and Crime. You know, Law and Crime, they go into extreme detail, that was posted a day later. Now it's going to really get into it. We have names of the victim and a bunch of other stuff involved with this. Arleth Bonilla lured Israel Tianet, I'm probably mispronouncing their name, forgive me, out to her apartment complex for someone else to murder him, police said. A Tennessee woman allegedly lured a 17-year-old out of her apartment complex where someone else fatally shot him. Arleth Bonilla, age 18, is charged with facilitating criminal homicide and the death of Israel, age 17, who was killed on August 8th in breezeway of Building E at Falcon View Apartments on East Palestine Avenue, police said. He died at Skyline Hospital. No one was arrested besides Bonilla, though cops said they were taking a look at her alleged boyfriend. Israel's family thought he was missing. When they soon got in touch with cops, they said Israel had received a message from an unknown woman, possibly his girlfriend Arleth, unknown last name. In a news release, cops only identified Bonilla as an acquaintance of Israel. Israel's father said that she lived at the apartment complex where the alleged murder occurred. Over the phone, the family's representative stated that the father had already been receiving text messages that his son was killed, police wrote. The victim's father received information from a friend of the victim who told him that the victim was going to see a girl at the apartment and that another unknown boy shot and killed the victim. According to cops, the family had Israel's phone records pulled, and it showed he had received 3 calls from 7:34 p.m. to 7:47 p.m., all from the same phone number just before the shooting. In an interview with the family, the uncle of the victim stated that prior to making the missing persons report, he called the number and a female answered, police wrote. He asked where the victim was, and she responded maybe he was the one killed. This was the first connection the family had to the homicide. Police asked the family if they knew to whom the boy had been speaking. The father stated the victim had previously shown the female's picture and said her name was Arleth. Authorities later confirmed the number that called Israel shortly before his death belonged to Bonilla, according to documents. Police received the Crime Stoppers tip on August 10th that told them that Israel went to the apartment complex to see a woman who had the Instagram handle at arleth.bonilla_18. Police found images on that account, including a set of Roman numerals matching the Facebook account of arleth.bonilla.1890. Shown one of the pictures, Israel's father and an uncle identified this as Arleth. A second uncle, who also identified the picture as Arleth, said he had previously heard his nephew speaking to a woman over the phone and that she had asked the teen to pick her up. Israel asked for her location. He left the house and did not return home, police wrote. Your affiant asked the uncle if he believed the victim was speaking to Arleth at that time. He stated that based on prior history, he believed that Arleth was the victim, that it was Arleth that the victim was speaking to. Police formally identified Bonilla through Hunters Lane High School. A staffer told cops she had not attended classes since August 8th, which was the day of the homicide. It turned out that Bonilla was dating a juvenile identified in documents as ES. This boy was a person of interest in the July 19th murder of Luis Arita Vasquez, authorities said. Arita Vasquez was shot in the head. His body was left near a picnic table outside of an apartment building on Berkeley Drive, according to police. Others at Bonilla's school confirmed she and ES were dating. Officers claim to also verify this through cell phone evidence. Statements in the Instagram messages suggest that ES was involved, possibly responsible for the planning of the murder of Israel, police wrote. In the Instagram messages, ES tells another party that his girl is going to write to him in park somewhere. The conversation continues after the incident, where the other person states his concern and that there wasn't any news articles yet about the murder. ES states, "Chill fam, my girlfriend is still washing." And then they release a whole statement. It's a long, lengthy statement. I'm not going to read it, but it is pretty lengthy. And that's the end of the article right there. It is some crazy and wild people out here who will pull these kinds of stunts in order to lure people to their deaths. That's why you have to be on your P's and Q's. If something doesn't feel right, it probably be because that it isn't right. Like, that intuition antenna has to fly up eventually. But she knew exactly what she was doing because she was luring a teenager. She was luring a 17-year-old. So, they're at that point in that age where they're trying to experience as much as they can in their youth. And they probably, who knows what she most likely told him to get him to come out there, because it was probably just something routine. But the thing of the matter is that this woman set him up in order to be taken out. This reminds me so much of what happened to the actor Merlin Santana, who played Romeo on the Steve Harvey Show back in the 90s, when he was unfortunately taken out back in 2003. And it's crazy to believe it's been 20 years since that happened, all because of what some female said. So she lured this kid, because he was a minor, out there, and he got taken out. So this is probably some sick joke to her, a sick game to her. Well, you know what? I hope that wherever they place her, that it's a joke amongst the inmates that are in there with her, because to my knowledge, those female prisons are no joke. They are no laughing matter. They are going to have her passed around more than a carton of Virginia Slims. And I feel absolutely nothing for her when she gets to wherever it is that she goes. And as far as her accomplice, they need to get him too.